Oh, this is Cyrenacia. Okay, so that area with a massive amount of resistance is actually Benghazi. I see. But no, we would lose Tripoli. No, sorry, we would lose Fezzan. Tripoli we may well keep. So we can increase our Ottoman garrisons in Fezzan, which will cost us 10,000 manpower, or Fezzan unrest will increase. So do we want to send in the troops and try to maintain the empire in its entirety, or do we want to start allowing some autonomous feeling to break out? And vote. Get your votes in. Vote, vote, vote. Since when does Mordred consider a manpower an important number? Oh, it's a very important number. As long as it's kept at 0. What do I lose if Fezzan splits? That's a good question. I would imagine it's most likely... Nope, no resources here. I thought maybe oil, but... No. No factories. It would literally just be 42,000 people. I think it's more to do with how would other areas see this if we don't react. Oh man, that is quite possibly one of the most overwhelming votes I've ever seen. Not worth it! Came in with an overwhelming... No, it's totally underwhelming. 10%. Send in the troops! With 90%. So we're sending in the troops. 10,000 manpower. Gone. Oh, most of our troops are actually retrained now. It's just the police forces which aren't. Interesting. And the ships are getting a large amount of training, which is quite nice. I'm sure we can recount the votes. Yeah. Muka, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Good to have you joining us. Anqing declared war on Shandong. And we have finished restricting the trade. So let's go and impose quantity restrictions on imports. Whilst the government aims to create a strong local industry, it too often finds itself relying on goods imported from the Donau monarchy or the German Empire. Steel, machinery, chemicals are all imported, which does not only make us reliant on those nations, but greatly hampers domestic goods as they can't compete with the cheap export products of the larger manufactories abroad. And this will massively increase our construction speed and factory output. Or rather, massively decrease the penalties to those. Canada and Afghanistan are no longer fighting. Coup d'etat in Siam. News emerged from Bangkok today as a group of officers and intelligentsia calling themselves the Khana Arastadon of the People's Party have successfully seized control of the government. Key government officials are placed under arrest and the king and his heir are said to be safe and well looked after by the new government. Union Sindicalista achieves Italian majority. The 5th Congress of the Socialist Republic of Italy has finally come to a close after a long stalemate forced the compromise between the Partito Socialista Italiano and the Union Sindicalista factions. Palmiro Togliatti of the Union Sindicalista Party of Italy will maintain his position as chairman, though the difficult Congress still remains a blow to the government's stability as a whole. Construction 1 finished. Construction 2 is still half a year away, so we can't start on that. What we can do is start getting some better guns. What is Bulgaria doing? Being the Prussian of Balkans, obviously. Economic affairs. We can expand the Timor system. Sorry, Timar system, which is Greek islands. Shortly after the conquest of the island by Sultan Selim II, a system of land grants, or timars, for his victorious soldiers was established. This granted them land on the island in the hopes of promoting a Turkish community on an otherwise predominantly Greek island. This system has long remained in use, and by the 19th century, Kıbrıs had a vibrant Turkish population centred around soldiers and their descendants. Through the plethora of wars we have been forced to endure over the decades, we once again have a large amount of Turkish veterans looking to settle down. By giving them timars, we hope they will integrate themselves to the Greek community and hopefully make the island more Ottoman-orientated. So Cypriot unrest will increase. We gain army experience. Ankara loses manpower. Cyprus gains manpower. And integration of the Greek insular vilayets increases by 5%. So we are now at 30? So this is leading towards becoming a vilayet, which I think is a good thing. Increases unrest, but eh. Do it. Do it. Do it now. Takes 400 days. Well, that's a while. %, shown in the description box. Uh-oh, but we have high unrest now. Oh, of this. Ah, yes. Yes, it does. 40%. So this will go up to 45. Yo-yo! Inspired unrest in Sam. The yo-yo ape. Wow, this is actually about yo-yos. The yo-yo, a brightly coloured children's toy which rolls itself up and down a piece of string held between the forefinger and thumb, is causing unrest in the city of Sam. After the city's mufti has held a fiery speech linking the toy to recent droughts in the region, the Black Monday disaster. They say that while the people are praying for rain to come down from above, the yo-yo goes down and, before reaching the ground, springs up through the subtle pull of the string. Although this explanation for recent misfortune in Syria seems even to conservative citizens complete balloonery, the influence held by the mufti has still forced the government to consider his opinion, and a heated debate was prompted in the Council of Sam. We must confiscate all of these damned yo-yos at once, or it's just a bloody toy. So... And vote! This is going to bring out the true radicals in chat here. Which way are we going to go? Yeah, you heard it on Fox News first. Yo-yos cause Black Monday. The Orange Menace has even tweeted about it. Wait, what? Yo-yos? Yeah, yo-yos. The devil toy must go! This vote's going to be even more intense than any other vote we've held so far today. I know, this one matters! This is about the true sensibilities of the nation. Good. Sandrock contributed 32,000 channel points. Damn, you went all in on that. Crikey. Confiscate them all. Did surprisingly well. But they actually lost with 46% to the it's just a toy with 54. So it's just an innocent toy. We're not banning them. Blimey. You mad? Shandong Clique took 8 states, Left Kuomintang took 4, Anqing has capitulated. So China is slowly but surely starting to coalesce. That's not fair, you counted all of the votes. Alright, so we've done all of those, so our production should start taking off again. And we have actually almost finished all of the infrastructure in Constantinople, which is awesome. The Ziraat Bankasi credit program. Originally the brainchild of Midat Pasha, the Memleket Sandigi was reorganized into the Ziraat Bankasi in 1888, providing stability and relief for farmers, still the majority of our population. The bank has been greatly expanded over the years as prices for agricultural goods are in flux. Following the collapse of Ukrainian and German markets, the vast reserves of the bank will be used to fight the crisis. I just want to double check to see if... Constantinople is actually going to get infrastructure. No, it's not. So we should probably upgrade that to a 10 instead of a 9. There are actually a bunch of infrastructure building things around. Okay, good to know. So Constantinople, you can actually go to a 2. Existence of a mid-hat pasha implies there's a top-hat pasha as well. Parliamentarian Siam declared war on royalist Siam. Okay, the army is now fully retrained. Good. The navy is still going, but is actually almost done. And the air force... also almost done. The Borat Rebellion. The recent Siamese revolution, while outwardly successful, has seen its popularity plummet. Taking advantage of the controversial yellow cover dossier, the nickname for a proposed plan to overhaul the nation's economic systems and nationalise many industries, a red scare has been whipped up. While the chief of the army, Loang Phibonsongkram, declared loyalty to the parliament, Prince Bauradet organised an armed mutiny in the northern reaches of the country. Proclaiming himself and his subordinates the Karna Burn Gu Moang, the National Reclamation Party began to march towards Bangkok. The swift mobilisation of the government forces led to a 2-day standoff that quickly escalated into all-out war between the two sides. Actually, Top Hat Pasha sounds like the Ottoman version of Sir Topham Hatt from Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh, man. Still don't know what infrastructure does. So every level of infrastructure increases all construction cost in that province by 10%. So having 10 infrastructure versus 0 infrastructure is 100% construction cost bonus. The other thing, it increases supply throughput, so supply will flow out of the capital better if you have a high level infrastructure in your capital, but it can get bottlenecked, so you want to make sure it like really flows out from the capital. It increases movement speed, so you move around more quickly and you can react to threats faster. And in vanilla but not Kaiserreich, it will also increase the goods produced, resources produced in various regions. So for example, if we wanted to extract more oil, we would build up infrastructure here in Kirkuk, which would then increase, I think, again by 10% the amount of oil produced in this region. Unfortunately, Kaiserreich removed that. It's one of my favourite changes in vanilla. So it only increases construction speed. So it's not as important in this, but in vanilla, especially in like the high resource areas, it can be very important. Selim the Airport opened, located at Habaniya, just 55 miles west of Baghdad and named after the infamous Sultan Selim I. The newly opened military airport will serve as the centre point for the Ottoman air operations in Iraq. Adapted from British experiences in the Middle East during the Welsh Creek, the use of air power in peacekeeping and patrolling the vast land has seen a rise over the last few years, with the Iraqi Flying Corps trained at the Flying Academy in Mosul. Utilising primarily local pilots is another step in the Ottoman programme to shape the Iraqis as a dominant military power in the Ottoman Mashriq. Splendid! Nearly done. 25 days of fuel left. Fuel storage is finished. We should probably start working on a doctrine. I forgot, we're one of the few nations that doesn't have a doctrine penalty. Okay, so what are the options? So let's take a look at what we've got. So we've got armor, so we've got breakthrough and reliability, light tank production cost, and speed and defense. No armor bonuses, which is unfortunate. Max speed and defense, yeah. Breakthrough and reliability is okay. Max speed and defense on light tanks is freaking useless. Okay, so our destroyers are significantly better, so are our submarines. That's a really good designer. And then cruisers, better armor, better anti-air, and less surface visibility, which means that they're harder to hit. So light cruisers could also be good. Our capital ships are going to be junk. So this is either going to be light cruiser raiding or destroyer and submarine. And actually this combo is just really potent. So we'll probably just do submarine. Fighters. Max speed and reliability is good. Air defense a bit eh. Air attack, air defense, attack, and strat bomber. I mean, those are big modifiers, 10% and 5% speed. Light bombers, 10% close air attack, range and agility. Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to go big air force. The other thing we need to bear in mind is chromium. We have lots of chromium. So possibly heavy tanks. Weaponry, soft attack and defense, so our infantry is going to be good. Plus 15% infantry equipment soft attack. Yikes, that's really good. Artillery, soft attack and breakthrough, so we can use artillery offensively. Or defensively. Defense and soft attack on artillery is really good as well. Cheaper motorized, mechanized. We do have oil, just not a huge amount of it. Actually, it's not true. We do have quite a lot of oil. Steel plus 8. This just gives you steel. Interesting. %20 infrastructure construction. Ooh. And oil. Just straight up oil. I'm liking that 20% infrastructure. I'm thinking Space Marines. Heavy tanks and infantry with artillery support. Which is Grand Battle Plan all the way. Because we don't have the tungsten for superior firepower. We could go mobile warfare, though our tank divisions just aren't that good. And we lost 25% of our population in the last war, so I don't think massive assault's really going to do it either. I think between mobile warfare and Grand Battle Plan, the downside of Grand Battle Plan is these units are going to be quite chunky, and we're fighting mostly in the desert, where motorized reigns supreme. So mobile warfare for motorized would be good. We do have cheaper motorized units, right? Yeah. So we could just go for lots and lots of motorized. And then the other thing we need to consider is Chief of Staff as well. So we do have a School of Maneuver, which would help with our motorized units. Artillery attack and defense, Special Forces attack and defense organization. So we don't have anyone that's like specifically infantry related. Armored division. Now, what determines if something is an armored division? It's not armored company, it's armored division. This also increases the soft attack of motorized. Division defense consumption. Org loss while moving. Armored spearhead. Which is more max speed for motorized. I'm actually kind of leaning towards motorized. Motorized with armoured cars, maybe. Will I actually be able to make any tanks before the war? Not necessarily, but bear in mind that the mobile warfare also really helps infantry. We'll go mobile infantry line so we can get those motorized going. And I reckon we can do that fairly early. But the other thing to bear in mind is this just gives us a lot of organization. Like plus 15 for infantry is crazy. And that's going to allow our infantry units to just fight on like mad. And here, that's all infantry plus 10. So we get plus 25 in the first 5 infantry doctrine. Sorry, mobile warfare doctrine. And we can still use heavy tanks. Heavy tanks with mechanized with mobile warfare, rather than medium tanks, which is what you usually do. We'd only have 1 or 2 of those divisions, but they could hit hard. It would be like mid to late game. We wouldn't do it necessarily early on. But if we did join like the Second World War, sorry, the Second Weltkrieg, then we could bring in a couple of heavy tank divisions. So I really could go either way. This is going to be between mobile warfare, which is going to be motorized with heavy tanks. Mostly motorized, especially early on. Or we go Grand Battle Plan, which is going to be infantry support tanks with significant amount of artillery. Although we would need to buy in the tungsten. I don't think the other two are really going to be usable here. So, vote, vote, vote. Which way? Mobile or Grand Battle Plan? We have loads of chromium, so Grand Battle Plan is going to make better use of that chromium. There's no doubt about that, at least early on. But we also don't have the heavy tank modifiers. Like, we don't have any armor modifiers. We haven't chosen yet, Mike, but concentrated versus dispersed is personal preference, and I just prefer concentrated. Isn't Grand Battle Plan pretty useless nowadays? It's not useless, it's just nowhere near as strong as it used to be. Like, of the 4 doctrines, I would say Superior Firepower is the stronger, although that just got nerfed as well. So there is no best option. It really depends on what your army does, what your terrain does, and what resources you have. Who would we fight first? Egypt and the other Middle East. So that would be desert, where motorized and armoured cars would be very useful. Okay, so mobile warfare it is. 82%. Pretty overwhelming. So in that case, do we have motorized research, first of all? Yes. And, in fact, we have armoured car 1s as well. Awesome. I'm going to start producing those. Because I think that we now have enough guns. We don't, but we'll overcome that shortage soon enough. And then the next thing is going to be... We don't actually have a motorized template, so we're going to need to make that from scratch. So what I might start doing is creating a duplicate of this, which is going to be motorized. We'll remove the MPs, which unfortunately is going to cost us straight away 10. But we'll go with motorized infantry. We'll slowly but surely start switching out the cavalry for motorized. Can we use camels? I don't think Kaiserreich has. Oh, yes we do. But we don't have anything which really modifies camels. Time to pull a France and convert all your troops to camels. My god, that player was annoying. Armour design companies specify armour, not specific tank types. Yeah, I know, Faceless. But the modifiers just weren't that useful. Like defense and max speed is a bit of a weird one. And then reliability and breakthrough, which can be useful. But that's more of a medium tank breakthrough company rather than heavy tanks, I would say. Have a camel bonus in the military tree. Do we indeed? Yes, we do. Ooh, quite a big one. And also leg infantry. Attack, defense, and movement. So, what exactly? Oops. Camels have more hit points, less supply use, lots more training time, less infantry equipment usage, and they're a lot better in deserts. Actually kind of wondering if we want to change our infantry units to camels. They are slower, but only somewhat. I mean, what we could do is get our artillery units here and start them switching over to camels. Oh, good lord, that's expensive. Oh, right, 30... Yeah, okay. There is a quicker, easier way of doing this. That costs 30. It still costs 25. Just adding camels... not really possible. Camels are ships of the desert. Do I get a free template with the... I don't think so. Enables camel crew. Huzzah! Maybe. Although that's a ways away, I don't know how much I necessarily want to focus on getting there. I'll still do mobile warfare because we still want the organisation loss reduction when moving. Kumul Khanate declared war on Xinjiang clique. You know, I just want to take a quick look at I4 units. I want to know if the wiki has been updated with camels. It has. Alright, so camels are affected by all frontline and all army. Yeah, they have the same problem as cavalry. Infantry upgrades don't actually improve them.